Stack it DOP. Make sure USD. Got them NFTs. All on me.
Yo, what's good, NFT City? It's your boy Chris coming at you guys with another episode of the NFT City podcast. Hope you guys are all feeling good today. I got my boy as usual. How you feeling today, bro?
Yo, NFT City was good. Feeling good, baby. Feeling great. Episode 15. And I think we got another banger for you guys. So, yeah, bro, I'm excited. As always.
Yeah, bro. We got a lot of shit to talk about today, man. So, we definitely gonna I'll try to go be brief on certain parts, of course, because it is a lot of info. But I think it's gonna be cool shit, like you mentioned. So,
Yeah, I feel like we took like a hiatus, bro. And I'm not sure if we actually did or not. But it feels like it.
it's funny. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, damn, but what was the last time we recorded an episode? You know what I think it was is we recorded on a weekend, the previous time, and so today, today's Thursday the 10th. Yeah, Thursday the 10th, June 10th. And so, yeah, I guess we're very spontaneous when we record these things. We aim to drop them obviously at the same day, but it does feel like a long time though, bro, for sure.
Yeah, bro. It's like when you take a vacay from work and come back. But the good news is I'm rejuvenized, bro. I'm ready to get through some Top Shot info, and yeah, just have a quick discussion on a few things.
Yeah, sounds good, bro. I can kick it off. Usually Dom is the first one to go over office hours, but this time I heard the office hours. I'll try to do it, even a half of as good job as he does at going over it. So, but this episode was kind of cool because it had Roham. And he kind of went over a few interesting things that I think everybody would be interested in hearing. The first one that I guess we could go over is hardcourt. So I don't know if for anybody who knows what that is, it's like a rumored game associated to the NBA Top Shot platform. And the idea that, again, this is all hypothetical at the moment. We haven't seen anything regarding it. It's supposed to be a mobile game where you'll be able to have like load up your moments, but also interact with like different characters or something like that. And so in the office hours, they actually asked Roham about like what's up with it, ETAs, and from the looks of it, it sounds like they don't want to release it anytime soon because they really want to focus and dedicate their times towards just Top Shot itself. I don't know, you and I have spoken about this, Dom, that adding a component like a game probably adds like a whole layer of complexity. And so I'm sure that they're definitely going to try to take their time with releasing something like this because you know what I mean? You don't want to release like an unfinished product or something that's just not going to mesh well with what you already have. And so I don't know what you think about that, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that they are thinking of different ways of adding like functionality to the moments, incentivize people to hold and actually interact with Top Shot. I always thought about NFTs as this thing that didn't make too much sense if you didn't love the thing that it represented. So like, if you're not into basketball, why would you hold Top Shot moments? I always thought like, damn, that why would I hold, say, example, Bored Ape Yacht Club, like if you're not into like that kind of thing. And I think the answer to that is you have to add some kind of functionality to it. There has to be some reason for someone who's just not a. And actually, even if now that I think about it, even if you are an NBA fan like OD, you don't have to partake in Top Shot. You know what I mean? You don't really have to have some incentive to hold the moments unless Top Shot starts executing stuff like that you could do with your moments. So a game is pretty dope. But I am glad at the point that you're saying, which is, it seems like they're holding off for a little bit and they're not focusing too much on that because I think they got a lot on their plate outside of the game. So introducing, like you said, it has complexity. Introducing a game might stretch them out too thin. So I'm glad they're taking the time with it. But I guess down the road, it is something exciting to have, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, I know. Again, we talk a lot outside of recording these episodes, and yeah, I know that's one of the things what we have talked about when it comes to NFTs. It's like, okay, what purpose does it serve other than like the collectible aspect, right? And that's actually something Roham brings up that Right now, Top Shot is kind of dedicated. Is like it's targeting specific groups of people. You can say so. For example, people that are into collectibles, right? That's one, and then the other one would be, I guess, like NBA fans. And
Hmm.
but then he did mention that like it hasn't really hit mainstream yet, and so I guess they were saying that they believe that when they do eventually launch hardcore, it would be to then make it more like you then start getting gamers, right? Now you start getting a whole different crowd of people into the Top Shot community. And so I guess it's like you were saying, it's a mixture of things, right? It's like, if you introduce it too early, you know what I mean? You can kind of ruin the hype. Like it's already been getting enough hype as it is, and so I'm sure you don't want to like overkill it. And not only that, like we've noticed they've come across several issues towards the beginning like of the year, and so I can only imagine adding a game would like put them over the top. But either way, exciting news, right? And again, just like as somebody who's been on this for a few months, the idea of adding a game and then somehow that working alongside moments like that just alone creates more value, right, towards what you hold. Because I'm sure they're gonna create some type of incentive towards the two. You know what I mean? The game needs these moments. Like I know they had like, like last year actually there was like an article about it where they mentioned that you could use those moments to like level up a character or something like that. And so again, no idea what this game is gonna work like, but and like from I guess what they've teased that it sounds pretty cool, but also very expensive. But so keep an eye out for that.
All right.
Cool. So that's one of the things that kind of came up in the office hours. I guess what I'll try to do is because they asked him a lot of questions, but I try to jot down some of the things that caught my eye, and I felt like the main vibe was that they're really pushing for like incentives to be a collector and NBA Top Shot, and obviously we'll get a lot more into that when we go over Holo Icon 3 later. But like yeah, they keep kind of comparing it to this like Soho clubhouse, right? Where, if you complete these challenges like Cool Cats, right? They're saying you will have long-term benefits, right? And I remember in the previous episodes we were wondering like what could they possibly give you, right? Um, in terms of an incentive. And I mean, we're already starting to see it, right? Where it guarantees you a chance at, future packs and things like that. And that came up a lot as well in terms of like a reoccurring theme. So that tells me that not only will it happen with Cool Cats, but I also expect this probably next series three, right? Where, you might want to keep an eye out for these challenges, because they will probably play a big role in terms of like just even helping you continue to collect or making it easier for you down the road.
Yeah.
Um,
So the
yeah.
overall theme sounds like they're gonna continue to push collecting, collecting, collecting. So
Yeah,
that's dope.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They're really emphasizing that, again, they are collectibles, you know what I mean? It's not this whole like buy and sell kind of thing. They want you to hold on to these moments. And what was actually something and sometimes we made a joke about this. It was I wonder if NBA Top Shot has one person dedicated to listening to our podcast and they caught on to our rants about like the challenges, right? Because if you guys heard us back a few episodes, we pointed out like a basic market strategy, which was if there's a challenge, every moment that is associated to that challenge immediately boosts in price, right? We saw this; it was like clockwork, and as soon as the challenge is over, the value completely like dropped. And so this actually came up in the episode where they were saying that this is something they're fully aware of, and so because of that, they're introducing different ways to complete challenges. So kind of like they call them quests or like the showcases we've seen on Twitter, where instead of having to complete these specific this six moments, they just had to meet a criteria. I get what was it, like the Ben Simmons one was like that, Dom, or
Yeah, Ben Simmons Cool Cat was like that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it seems like that's kind of where they're heading, and maybe that would explain why we haven't been seeing as many challenges. If you notice, it's still like the throwdown ones. So yeah, that's the incentive because again, they notice that they don't want to add all this buying pressure as well as selling pressure, to these specific moments because it kind of just hurts the market overall. And so it's cool. I'm glad that they really are taking that into consideration because like yeah, it was a major flaw, especially for us who, we consider the Cool Cats challenge to be a L, but I don't know, if they start making these adjustments down the road, it sounds like it might be a little bit more interesting, and you can kind of just again pick moments that you like because down the road they might still be useful for a challenge.
Or got it. So they went over hardcore again. More. What else did they touch on? Did they hit anything on like what what they're gonna do with moments, like locking them up or anything like that?
So they asked him about staking, but
Yeah.
obviously he also really couldn't get too much into detail. But that is something that they want to look into down the road as well. So
Okay.
that's on something to look out for. Again, nothing very concrete, and so that's why I didn't really want to jump into it. They also brought up burning moments.
Okay.
Um, and what was interesting was they explained that it's actually currently it's a technical limitation in the blockchain. So it's not necessarily something simple for them to do, even if they wanted to. But what, and I guess you could say he almost kind of like he played the CEO card here, where he actually kind of boosted my morale about NBA Top Shot. He said we're still in beta, right? When you think about NBA Top Shot, and he mentioned why would you start the burning moments already? Um, burning moments might be something that might make more sense down the road when you're looking at cereals of like whatever 1 mil or something. You know what I mean? Versus burning a legendary that's 1 out of 99. So it sounds like it's something they want to introduce down the road, and it will most definitely happen. But right now, it feels like the hype was around like just preserve what you have and like just know that like this is already so early and there's no need to start introducing something like that to the market. Um,
Right. I
it
think
was interesting to hear. Yeah.
burning moments. I kind of understand that concept because again, like we already saw what happened when they had 4,000 circulation count. Like when we go back to December, January when we started, 4K seemed crazy. 4K was like, damn, this 4K of them chill. I want one of these out of 700 ones or whatever out of 1,000. So we were
Yeah.
looking at 4K like that's a crazy ass circulating count. Um, out of 3,999, that's when we had the infamous like Julius Randle for $1, which turned into like 500, right? Something like that you had.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing. If right now the demand is low and people start burning moments, it's irreversible. It's like a permanent thing, action, right? So you can't once you have a million users, right, then you're really gonna have some crazy situation. Like burning it now doesn't seem like something big, but then when you do have a million users down the line, all looking to collect, and you've gone through and burned like, you know, 10 moments out of 99, you just burnt the supply to 10%, and now only 0.1% of people could have it, right? And we
Exactly.
also know
Yeah.
that some of the early people hold on to a few of the same moments, and imagine that also. And people that hold it don't want to sell it. Imagine the percentage of those that are only gonna be available in the marketplace. So yeah, it's a slippery slope if you do allow burning. So I get that sentiment. I do want to see though them consider all the other options aside from burning that are like popular in blockchain related projects, like staking is one, right?
Yeah.
In a way, locking and staking are kind of the same thing, but I feel like you have a lot of creative things you could do with that. If you stake a moment, you're actually preventing somebody from going out and selling it, and then you're also incentivizing that person to like hold on to it and not, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna get
Exactly.
some reward out of it. But yeah, a lot of ways to go. I'm cool with that. I see a lot of people asking for burning in the Discord, and I think it's a mistake. So I'm with them on this one.
You know what it is, bro? It's so easy for us as like you were saying, right? It's all about like how relevant something is to you at the moment. Like you were like again, remember how we thought. I remember when we first got into this. Like I have like a DSJ 1500, and I was like, 1500, bro. Like you know what I'm talking about? It's out of 1500, and now we have 40K CC moments. You know what I mean? And so yeah, like I can imagine that people are just thinking, oh, if you introduce burning, we'll cut down the supply and we're right back to where we were or something like that. And it's just not that simple. And and yeah, man. So I think we just need to, enjoy the ride. Clearly the Top Shot team is well aware of what the hell's going on. And yeah, man, it sounds like they have a plan for it all. Like these are things that they have in the back of their minds. But to kind of go against a little bit what you were saying, which was like the whole staking thing. It almost feels like the Top Shot team is actually using collector score more as an incentive to keep people within like from selling moments.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we're already seeing that. Like if by the way, guys, we're not gonna get too into this right now, but obviously you can keep an eye out because we will be releasing some videos dedicated to just specific Top Shot features. So stay tuned. But yeah, they've explained that like your collector score gets calculated you like net spending. So how much you made versus how much you spent. And so you actually could lose points by selling moments. And so yeah, I don't know, man. It's this weird mix where we yeah, I almost get lost thinking about it, bro. Like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're saying that they already have an incentive to keep moments by putting this collector score, which gets affected negatively if you sell. And I get that, but if I'm let's say I'm in a way not too excited to buy new packs, right? Let's say I'm not looking, maybe financially I'm not looking to buy more packs moving forward, but I do have some collection on me. Then me having a collector score doesn't help me. Like it doesn't, I'm not going for the new or some people where like they know that the next pack, right? They're into only legendaries and they know that they're out of range. So then you know, then you leave somebody in this point where they feel like, okay, I either have to spend a lot of money to in the marketplace to make up and increase my collector score, or I just leave it as is, or I guess my other option would be to sell and just forget it, right? And
Yeah.
so, you can also disincentivize people that don't meet the requirements, or maybe it's a little too far out of their like financial, it's too much out of their pocket kind of thing. Then you
Yeah.
can also disincentivize somebody to hold on to moments because they could give up and be like, forget it, I'm gonna just sell. And that's something to keep in mind. So I think, you know, just projecting here, something about staking is the fact that in traditional cryptocurrencies, right? Even even someone with very few, means financially, they can still get rewards, right? They can still get an APY. In those cases, they can get some interest on even $5 worth of that cryptocurrency. And so even someone with no money is incentivized to hold. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's almost my thought process in adding that kind of functionality to Top Shot because I think with the collector score you're gonna get to a point where you might have this little problem of the OGs are gonna be so far ahead than new people joining that it's gonna be, if you don't treat it right, you're gonna easily have uh, these high requirements for collector score, right? And in order to reach that, it feels like you should have finished master challenge in last series, and a whole bunch of other stuff that it was easy if you were there early enough. But if you weren't early enough and you're just jumping in, you don't have a good way to get catch up to that collector score. If you remember,
Yeah, that's a good
this
point, bro.
yeah, this Holo 3 is 7500 collector score, and we're actually gonna touch on that a little bit later. But Holo 3 is dropping soon, and yeah, they announced that you need a collector score 7500. Do you remember what the last one was? The pack that just dropped before that? It was the rare, right?
Five,
The
I think,
throwdown.
bro. Yeah. 2,500, bro, was the previous.
Yeah, so you just 3x, right? The collector score, and there are some bonuses, quote unquote, but still, we can, you know, it's clear that there's a nice little leap, right, between the collector score needed for last pack compared to this one. And yeah, it's a legendary compared to a rare, so it should be higher, but still it feels like a leap. And let's just think about it. Let's project to a year out, Chris, right? Like,
Yeah, of course.
do you think it's gonna be 7500? I doubt it, right?
Absolutely not.
Right? Because it doesn't make sense. So Yeah, collector score is gonna be a little interesting, bro. I'm already feeling like eventually they're gonna have to rework it, either adjust it so that it only involves that series, right? So like every series, you're essentially like resetting everybody. I mean, we can go on a while trying to project and trying to think, but I do have a feeling just through our discussion here that it can't just be collector score as an incentive to hold onto moments, because again, I think that approach might disincentivize other people as well, newer people actually. So
No,
yeah,
exactly, bro. Like, I mean, and we can end it on this particular note. Like, they have like bonuses, right? That will help you get this high score, right? But the key thing that you had mentioned, I remember you had to explain this because it wasn't clicking for me initially. It's like net spending.
yeah,
And basically, if you were just very fortunate and like I guess in your investments in NBA Top Shot, like every moment that you purchased, um, you actually just sold for a profit, you actually wouldn't get that bonus
yeah,
because you made a profit. And I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know how to feel about that. Again, it could be selfish of me to be like, oh, that's bullshit, right? Because I didn't get the bonus because of that particular reason. But at the same time, it's also realistic, right? Like, isn't that that is like a an approach to this? I guess you could say this game. You know, you're
mm-hmm.
not coming in here to like just spend money. You're also here to make money, right? And so yeah, I guess they're like you were saying. I guess like the big flaw right now is they're adding too many incentives towards, I guess, not selling and just buying. But it would need to be something bigger than just creating incentives to buy more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Other like you were saying, like you painted the perfect individual. Like it's very easy to just remember, like, oh wait, there's also people that are just in here to probably buy a few moments and then forget about this forever. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
not here to continue buying packs down the road. So yeah, bro. I can imagine from like a company standpoint, the answer is probably you can't make everybody happy, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. These are like quick little things where it's just like, actually, you know what I mean? So, um, but yeah, bro. I think on that note, like that pretty much covers office hours with Roham. It was actually pretty cool because again, like how often do these CEOs get on to just answer questions, right? These are all questions from the
mm-hmm.
community, and so it was pretty nice to hear. But yeah, like the main thing that we've been kind of looking forward to talking about, Holo Icon 3. And obviously I'll let you take over, bro.
Yeah. So we've had a few packs. Uh, honestly, it's been a few packs. Yeah, like we haven't had a many packs recently, and I
Yeah.
think it's actually a reaction from the fan base, right? Like reaction to the market dropping, reaction to people on Twitter and their Discord, just uh, their people saying, "Yo, listen, like too many packs." In Discord there was this joke, 38. So if anybody's listening and you're part of the community and you're in Discord, you know what 38 means. And I'll give you a little story. Actually, I don't know if you know about this one. So I guess the legend has it, right, that one of the community people from Top Shot one day was just asking some questions, and it was almost like a trivia question, if you will, and they asked a question, and which like a mathematical question, which the answer was 38, and when they answered that question, the people in the Discord, a pack drop was announced, and I guess it became a running joke from there that people would type 38 in hopes of triggering something, triggering a pack drop.
Okay.
So it's like calling on the Top Shot gods to release a pack by just spamming 38 in the chat. And the funniest thing was that this would get spammed like all the time, daily. And then we noticed, and we spoke about this in previous episodes, where Top Shot began having more of a scheduled drop, right? So they were aiming for, what was it? If you can remind me, Mondays and Thursdays?
Yeah, Mondays and Thursdays.
Yeah. So then, some smart people would, or whatever, the community pretty smart on its own. So that during those days they would spam 38, and then pack gets announced, and then boom, everybody's saying that it works. You know what I mean? So it's like a, but clearly it was part of the schedule. And then we had what happened, where was a lot of packs started dropping, challenges started dropping, and we spoke about, I guess, the inflection point of where packs, people felt like, okay, this is way too saturated with packs. Obviously, beginning with the downturn of the market, and the joke then was that please no 38, like they were looking for
No more
anti
pack
38. Yeah, they were like negative 38. They were typing anything but 38 now, hoping that there weren't any packs. So I think, we went through a few. This was a long story just to say that, we haven't had a good pack in a while. Last
Full circle, bro. Full circle.
yeah, word. Last pack that was dropped was at I guess considerably nicer, relatively nicer price point than we've seen previously, and they actually kept it going with this one. So they announced Holo Icon 3 dropping next Thursday. That lands the 17th, so exactly a week from when we're recording this. It's again a considerably nicer price than we've had previous Holo Icons drop. It'll be $230 instead of the usual $1,000 for legendary packs. And then legendary packs come with a legendary. They come with 3 rares, generally MGLEs as well. And then I think like 6 or 7 just like base set moments. Can't recall exactly the amount, but you get you get nice, right? You get a nice amount of moments in the legendary packs. There's only gonna be 2,500 available, and the eye-shocking part, aside from the decreased cost, was that the requirement is 7,500 collector score. And again, just to put into perspective, we just had one, and you mentioned it was a 2,500 collector score.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually pretty OGs in this thing, right? Not the craziest OG. We weren't here in like closed beta type thing, but again, December 2020 we've been here. January we've been here, obviously, and so even some of us don't have the 7,500, right? Actually, I don't
either, bro. Like it actually made me, so I was parking. I got myself some Dominican food, to
oh shit
to get ready for this podcast.
Then how you here, bro?
Actually, yeah, word. I was a little sleepy, actually. Luckily, we took a little hiatus before we started recording. But yeah, bro, like when I saw the tweet that you sent, I was like, damn, bro, 7,500. Because whatever, if you guys have been listening, we completed the Cool Cast Challenge as a group. A few, like we completed a few actually. Dom was one of them, so luckily he'll be able to purchase this pack because he has the LaMelo whatever the challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 7,500 is a lot, bro. Like just I own a nice amount of moments, I would say. I know our boy BFD Hayes also owns and I know none of us add up to 7,500 with just that. So, to me, like as soon as I saw this, I was just like, how the fuck are we supposed to hit this number unless you had the Cool Cats,
Yeah.
What was your reaction, bro?
Well, just to add more emphasis to what has already been emphasized, to your emphasis, according to moment ranks, I'm in the 0.5 percentile of users when it comes to total market value of my moment. And I don't meet the requirement. You know what I mean? Like, all right, hold on. So this is in my opinion, an elite kind of pack. Like, I think not too many people will be eligible for this one. Just projecting here. That again, and when we talked about it, I guess to answer your question, like what I thought about the announcement immediately was 230 fire, and then immediately the opposite feeling when I saw the 7,500 collector score. Maybe I mean, listen, again, for me, because I've my account has completed the master challenge, I'm good. And we're gonna go into. I just wrote down some notes on some of the bonuses because there's some additional bonuses. But just that bonus on its own gets my account in, gets me in, right? But if it wasn't for that, I'd have to go back now and start, toying around with the market and pretty much start buying, right? Because in order to hit this thing, this collector score. So yeah, bro, I think I found it a little crazy. I thought it was a little out there. Um, we know that again they're gonna say, they're gonna quote unquote say, we're in beta. We're still trying to figure it out, trying to find a middle ground. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, maybe they know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I'm in the 0.5 percentile, quote unquote, with an account value. How many people out there are actually gonna be eligible for this? Like, I'm trying to predict, and it's hard to predict what kind of number of people out there are gonna be eligible,
That's
because I don't
tough,
think it's
bro.
gonna be many.
Yeah, I don't
Because
think so either, bro. That's why, like, when like like I remember we had guessed this before, all right? And it was when they first introduced collector score, right? They were very like I think the first pack was like 200 or something.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, bro, this is nothing," right? It was like basically you own like 10 moments and you could buy it, right? So I was like, "Okay, that's cool." But bro, they took a leap with this, you know what I mean? Like I'm not like you in point five, but I'm pretty up there, you know what I mean? I don't want to look my account up actually. I don't want to be sad, but um
Word.
yeah, bro. Like I'm almost curious as to where they'll find the middle ground. Like, are they know that this was ambitious and they did this on purpose? Um, but again, they did kind of give us a warning, right? I remember they specifically said that they want to create incentive for people that have genuinely been on this website for some time and have continued to collect and so yeah, I guess this is one of those things, right? Where they're rewarding those who like genuinely own a decent portion of moments, and so you are part of the elite, you can say, who are able to purchase the next, obviously, packs that will make you money. Because again, this is not financial advice, but it sounds like if you hit on one of these, like you're about to strike gold. Like what is it? The challenge awards had like KD, Luca, Embiid. Like there's some big names for this pack. So, and we've seen that NBA Top Shot. That's what sells, big names. So it's interesting. They're definitely making it more selective. And again, this is also what they've been saying, right? Like this is a legendary pack. I mean, when we first got when the first time we actually got legendary packs, Dom and I got like I remember the website like glitched and like I got super lucky and I managed to get a pack. And either way, it was crazy. Like it was like a free for all. There was no queue, and you kind of just had to close your eyes and hope for the best. So yeah, man, it's interesting that it does seem like they're heading in that direction where if they're gonna make it so that you can buy this pack, only a select few can, rather than just have everybody buy it. And you know what I mean? I guess they're trying to avoid having 500,000 people in the queue, and buy it for whatever $2,000. I guess they're taking the road where it's just like you have to buy a ton of moments to qualify for it, and I guess that's how they get their money out of you, anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know, so many different ways to look at it. But I know you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, actually, I had this question set up for later in the episode just to round it off. But since we're on that topic, I actually want to get your thoughts on that. Like, you know, Holo Icon, obviously, Holo Icon was available in Series 1. So this isn't necessarily the third drop, but it's the third drop in Series 2. And Holo Icon series, obviously in series 2, 1 and 2, they were both $1,000, and this one is 230. So, you know, with this pack being cheaper than it's been, historically, and so in the previous one as well, the MGLE that dropped for I think $24 when normally this is like $199. What are your thoughts on that? Like, why do you think they're doing it? Um,
Fuck with us, bro. Fuck with us. They fuck with us, bro. Like, yeah, man. Like, it's genius, bro. Right. So this is like, I don't know. I like numbers, right? And as soon as so again, we'll briefly go over this in a sec, right? Because so there's bonuses, right, to get these moments, right? So let's even just use this as an example. $230, super affordable, obviously, but then you need a 7,500 collector score, right? And like you brought up a good example, right? Let's say you're brand new to NBA Top Shot. How the hell can you get 7,500 collector score? Well, I'll tell you how you can do that. They have this table that shows that if you spend up to $10,000, you'll still be missing 2,500 points to qualify. So think about that. If you spend $10,000, again, I'm assuming these are $10,000 of random moments. They don't necessarily apply to any of the bonuses. That would get you close to this amount of the collector score. And so,
Damn.
yeah, bro, it almost, that to me, it sounds like I think the strategy is, they don't want new, because you know what it is, like if you like, especially something like NFTs have been called a fab, right? Like a fad, however you say it. And so a lot of people are just kind of in and out kind of this. And so if they hear there's going to be a big drop, they'll just try to get on the queue. Obviously, have an account, try to get on the queue. And if they buy it, they get away with it, cool. But I think that Top Shot is trying to take the approach where it's like they want to have the community get a chance more than anybody else. And if you want to be part of the community, the entry of the barrier is a lot higher now for these particular packs, especially the good ones. So it's genius, bro. Because I think down the road, you're if you think about it, before like you had to buy a pack, you just was get in the queue, and if you don't hit, cool, whatever. You just didn't spend a single dollar. All you did was waste your time, I guess you could say. But now you could invest money to try to have a chance at buying the pack, which is a big difference. You know, one was like a gamble in the sense of like, oh, whatever, I'll get in this queue and see if I can buy it. And the other one is like, I genuinely have to spend over $10,000 so that I could even have a chance at buying this $200 pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's genius, bro. I can't even knock it, bro. I respect it. I don't know, bro. What's your take on that? Like, I feel like I've been ranting a little bit.
No, I didn't see it through that angle. I mean, but then again, as I've been seeing a lot, and in some ways, every time I hop on Discord, and I do like glance through the general, somebody's complaining about, oh, Top Shot dropped too many packs or too many moments, this and that. Pretty much putting the blame on Top Shot. I almost want to come to the, my knee jerk reaction is to come to their defense and say, yeah, listen, they're a business, like they're here to make money. They don't care about your evaluation. I mean, somewhat they do, right? Like, but it's a second thought, right? The first priority of any business is to make money. They're not here to look at your account and say, oh, damn, your account value went down 50%. They don't care about that. Like, at the end of the day, they have bills, they have investors, they have, you know what I mean, employees and all that. So I think, people have to realize, like, listen, this is a business. They're going to try to make business. Always keep that in mind. So don't try to blame Top Shot for anything. Simply focus on what you can control, and don't assume that they wouldn't release more packs and price them at crazy numbers, because as long as people were buying them at $1,000, so why wouldn't they drop it at $1,000? And I think they could still do that. They could have still gone ahead and dropped this one at $1,000 also. But you know what? Actually, now that I bring that up, we did talk about this off air for a bit. We talked about how we know for certain that there's gonna be 3 playoff related drops. There's gonna be one dropping tomorrow, I believe, right? The reserve playoff pack.
Yeah.
And that's the base set, pretty much. It comes with one playoff moment, then you get a couple, just I guess base set out of 40 KCC type thing. And then we know that it's gonna be a rare. And then we know that there's gonna be another legendary. And that's aside from the Holo 3. So there's 2 legendaries to look forward to. The one on the 17th, and then one based on the finals sometime in August. Obviously after the finals, and then after they get clearance for the moments from the finals, etc. But when we had that discussion about what packs are coming up, we assume that they're gonna keep the same pricing, and so you and I talked about it, and we were like, "Yo, this one's the one to skip." Like, I'm skipping Halo 3.
Yeah.
Even when we saw some of the stars, like you mentioned, that were gonna be on there, right? The KD, the Luca, that weird Luca shot that he, game winner on the
Older.
Grizzlies, right? It's like a floater from three type thing. Like he was tripping almost from the inbound. That was a pretty cool moment. But even then, I was like, yo, that's probably the only really good moment I would want from that thing. And $1,000, I'm skipping that. I'm saving my 1,000 for finals pack, right?
Finals, yeah.
Because I'm just gonna assume that the finals are gonna carry some weight, right? So that was off rip. And now that I saw the pricing on this one, I'm going for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Of course, bro. As you should. Yeah. I mean, big difference, right? From 230 to 1,000,
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, so that right there does highlight to me that maybe they had an inkling of that. Maybe they have that sentiment. They caught that sentiment from the people. Because if I felt that way, I'm sure hell of a lot of people were feeling that way too, right? Maybe I'll
Yeah,
skip
exactly.
this one and go for the next one. And you also don't want a situation where people don't want to go for your packs, or they want to, you know what I mean? Like, if you run any business, you don't want your clientele to be, to feel like, oh, this one's not worth it. You know what I mean? Out of one of your products, and then your other product is probably the only one that might be worth it, or maybe not. Maybe even that one won't be worth it. So it's like, by them dropping the price, it's a smart move. Again, look, they locked me in as a buyer now. I'm sure a lot of other people felt the same way, that if it was 1,000 they wouldn't, and now that's 230. I'm either highly considering it or 100% on it, right? So,
Yeah. No, that's you touched on a good point, bro, which was the fact that, like, think about it. So they actually announced all these packs together, like, and they said this was gonna come out, Holo Icon on top of, what is it, the Eastern versus Western is gonna happen, and then there's gonna be the finals one.
yeah,
And so yeah, like, I don't know, like you were saying, like, if you're not like rich or something, right, and you're not like just trying to buy on every single pack drop, and you had to just be selective immediately, right? You would just think, oh, it has to be finals, right? Because again, we've been talking about this again forever now. Moments matter, and where are the best moments probably made in the finals, right? Like, that's like, if you see some fire shit happen there, that's what people remember. You know what I mean? Nobody's remembering a game four, the second round, unless it was like something absolutely like crazy against, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, like LeBron against the Celtics when he faced the big three a few years ago. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, that's what people remember. But again, overall, it's the finals that really matter. So yeah, I can imagine that everybody was like, "Oh, we're skipping this pack. I'm saving my money for that." And even Roham actually said that. And I was also gonna bring this up as a question later on, but it seems that a lot of withdrawals are at an all-time low. And what's interesting about that is he said that people aren't withdrawing their money, but are keeping their money within their Dapper balance. And so immediately my thought process was, oh shit, everybody's doing what I'm doing, which is holding on for these playoff packs.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, bro, like, yeah, man, I think very smart move by the Top Shot team. Like, it's almost like it's almost like we thought we were ahead of it. Like, oh yeah, definitely skipping this. But it looks like they're already one step ahead of us. Now, I guess my only wish is that I hope I qualify for those final ones, because I really want to purchase one of them.
Yeah,
But
well,
let's see. I might just have to get on these bonuses, and I guess we can make it a little power round. Like, let's go over the bonuses real quick. And again, we don't have to get into much detail, but just to give the audience an idea of, I guess, how they could qualify for the challenge.
yeah, right. So 7,500 is the minimum collector score you're gonna need for Halo 3. Presumably, it's gonna be higher for the finals pack, finals legendary pack. But they are testing out, and they made it clear. There's a blog post that came out today on June 10th, and they made it clear that there's gonna be some limited time bonuses. We don't know the exact limited time, right? So we don't know if this exact bonuses apply to all future packs for S2, or if it's just for this one. But Until something changes, we're gonna drop you the information. That way you can see if you can, if you need a little bump to get to 7,500, you can take a look at these bonuses. So the aside from the Cool Cats Master Challenge, which automatically gets you eligible for all the packs coming in Series 2, and aside from the Marketplace bonus, which you kind of went over, which essentially is like how much did you spend in the Marketplace. Again, packs don't count. So if you bought $1,000 pack, sold some of the moments, you're right. You're not positive. You're still negative because you got to spend this in the Marketplace. So, those two have stayed the same from the previous challenge. The ones that they added were 4 different bonuses. This time around, you can have a set completion bonus, and I guess if there's any set that you've completed, you get double the points. So if that set, let's imagine a Seeing Stars set, or the Cool Cat set, for instance, right? You complete the whole set, you got all the moments for it. Add up all those, add up the points that that the whole set gives you, and then just multiply by 2 because you completed the whole thing and you weren't missing any moments from that set. So that's straightforward. There's a series team bonus, so you can essentially collect 1 moment for each player on any specific team from a series, and that gets you pretty much 50% extra, or 1.5x the points. I guess just to elaborate a little bit on that. So say as an example, the Knicks. So you buy up every single player on the Knicks that had a Series 2 moment, and you just need 1 of every player. So one, if RJ has a few Series 2 moments, you only need 1. So it could be the cheapest. Obviously, it's better to just go with the cheapest. And that's not a big number. We don't, there's a lot of $3 moments, $4 moments for most of these players. So it shouldn't be more than like $100, $200 if I had to just take a wild guess. So that gets you, again, 1.5x. The one that's a little bit on the same line, but a little bit more complex, is the full team bonus. So again, series team bonus is 1, right? And then full team bonus is the next kind of bonus you could get. And for this one, you need, 1 of each, 1 moment for each player, and then that expands through all series. So 1 of each player from any team you want. So say, again, all Knicks, for instance, but it has to be for all series, right? 1 and 2 at this point. And that one's a little pricier. Actually, shout out to I forget his name, but it was the same guy that brought up the story about Vegas Dave. You remember that story, right? Yeah. So the same dude that reported Vegas Dave, he sent out a tweet. Maybe you had sent it to me. I'm not sure where I got it from, but
it's Taylor Stein.
Yeah,
right? Is that him?
Yeah, I think I saw the face and I was like, yeah. Shout out to you. So shout out to you again, bro. So he did a small calculation, and it looks like, for instance, if you want to go with, like, if you want to hit this bonus and you pick, I think, Timberwolves, it was like under $100 to complete.
Yeah.
And then
and of course this is subject to change because people could probably start strategizing around this. But still, yeah, at the moment when he sent this, which was like 7 p.m., it was like under $100, which was pretty affordable, I would say, for completing a whole team.
Full team bonus is one you want to get. This one, the first one that I set completion bonus was 2x your points. The series team bonus is 1.5x your points. This one doesn't have. They don't tell you what it is. It just says score big. So presumably, probably higher than 2x your points if you do a full team bonus. And for some teams that'll be cheaper. For other teams it'll be more expensive. Like we looked at the Knicks, right? Shout out to the Knicks. Yeah. We looked at the Knicks, and I think the cheapest to complete this whole thing would have been like 4K, and that's because you would have to go back to Series 1 and get like I think Carmelo and like
Yeah, Mari Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire, right, which were both running backs, New York Knicks from Series 1. So obviously there's no Carmelo Anthony Knicks Series 2 because he's in Portland. So, and Amari Stoudemire isn't playing. So, like, yeah, you would have to go back to Series 1 and on top of that be a running back in order to get those that full team bonus for the Knicks. So, yeah, it depends on which team you want to go with, but it looks like, get it while you're hot. Go with what the hell I said? Not Milwaukee. I said Timberwolves. So that's a full team bonus. Then there's one last one, which is challenge completion and reward owned. So you complete a challenge and you kept all the moments plus the reward. I think it wasn't made 100% clear, but I'm pretty sure on this that you had by them specifying completed challenge, it means that post challenge you didn't go up and buy all the moments, right? That actually in your account you have under challenges there's a tab called completed in Top Shot, and then you can click on completed and see which ones you actually completed it for, as opposed to the challenge completed and then you bought up the moments. So I think that's the caveat there. And you get a bonus. Yeah, I guess a lot of info there, but I mean not too much. Is there any bonus here that you feel like, yo, this one's a must? Anything stand out to you?
They're all kind of have like their bait a little bit, like, so, like, a few of the early ones, like set completion is like times two, 2x, but like, that will get you some points, but you'll probably still have to bite on some of the other bonuses as well to be able to hit 7,500. So it's kind of tough, bro. I think it's like a mixture of things, and I guess you're just creating other incentives so that you could eventually hit this, But either way, be ready. Like if you didn't complete, like, another, again, going back to what Dom said, and again, if you didn't get the chance to complete the Cool Cats Master Challenge, they're saying you could still go and I think this is correct, right? You could still go purchase all 30 moments, and that would be enough for you to get and that would actually qualify you not just for this particular pack, but all remaining Series 2 packs. So again, those are like the things to keep in mind. Like, there's a few little ways to still get your foot in the door if you're really trying to get on these packs.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about it that way. If that is true, that you could just I gotta double check on that one. But yeah, I think
80%
you might be
sure,
right.
bro.
If you do, if you're nowhere near the requirement, then that's your bet. Go look at the cool cats, buy them all up. Although what you said, LaMelo's kind of expensive right now. Is that what it is?
That's so, yeah. So I was like, okay, I was like, then this is probably the smartest things to do. But then I forget it. They say all 30 moments, right? Which includes LaMelo, and that's it's a little hefty boy moment. So you definitely, that moment alone is like $1,800 or something like that. So I think if you scoop up all the other ones, it'll probably be I think the LaMelo moment alone is more expensive than if you bought the other 29. It's crazy if you think about it. But yeah, so but I still think, if in comparison to all these other bonuses, I think this was probably the one that'll probably do you the best. But again, 80% sure. Don't quote me on this, but do some research. I think this might be a good entryway. But yeah, other than that, bro, I think that pretty much covers Holo Icon 3, I would say. Either way, like, I'm excited for it. Curious to see, like, just how I don't know. I usually, even like if I don't hit on a pack, like, I just like to see their impact on the market. Like we saw in the previous rare that came out recently. What you said it to me this morning, what the KD moment was going for like 3K or something, like.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, bro. It came from a $24 pack or something. So, this, at least we have that theme is back, right? You make money on packs again, in comparison to before, right? Where, like, we did have a rare pack recently where you could have actually lost money depending what moment you got. So, now, of course, there's new elements to it where you have to kind of spend to just even get your foot in the door. So either way, super exciting. Just kind of be, the most we can try to do on our part is just provide you guys as much information as we can so that you can make like a smart decision on this. And yeah, but I guess we can, finish it off with like playoff impact. Do you think it met expectations? BFD Hayes, if he was here, he would be saying, yo, bro, the playoffs, might boost these Sam Merrills, these, he's been hyping up these playoffs. Um, do you think they live up to the hype, down?
Well, I mean, for me, kind of, yeah, because I didn't have that same sentiment. I didn't have me and TV didn't line up on this particular topic. Like, I didn't feel that playoffs itself would have done anything. Obviously, in hindsight, we know what happened, but um, and no one knew, so I wasn't 100% sure. But I didn't feel that something like playoffs necessarily could have been a trigger, especially after it was clear that we were in euphoria and then we were coming down.
Yeah.
That to me signaled to me like, hey, listen, like this thing was clearly overshot, and it happens in so many markets, and you know, it happens outside of Top Shot in just in any other market. And I'm glad I have the experience of other markets, that I'm into, cryptos and stock market and things like that, because I have something to compare it to, and I've seen it before. I've seen people get it euphoric on something, it goes to the moon, and then you have the denial phase, where it just is like it's coming down, but now you pick like a target. You pick that thing down the line that you expect. Oh, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it's going down now, but it's gonna be the catalyst that will like propel us even further. And
Why you have to do me like that, bro? The denial phase.
oh
Damn.
yeah, it's denial. Yeah, I mean,
Why you
listen.
what, why you have to do us like that, bro? We've been hyping up this playoff shit for mad long, bro, and now you like, oh,
No, I
I
mean
don't know.
we're here, right?
I ain't like the way you said that.
Listen, I'm excited as hell for the future of Top Shot, just not the future of Top Shot right now, like, or not right now of Top Shot, the present of Top Shot, if you will. I knew that it's just the market cycle, bro. After euphoria, you're gonna have a phase of denial. We were in denial, and
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's good. It's a good learning experience for anybody who hasn't, and all we gotta do is try to keep this in mind moving forward, right? But I think overall, for me, my expectations weren't that clear or that high, and so I'm right in the middle somewhere. I'm happy that it feels like Top Shot is turning things around a bit by, again, like we both stated just a bit earlier, was that somehow they're understanding some of the thought processes the community's going through, and making the adjustment even before, and surprising us, if you will, with some of the decisions that they're making. So that's where I'm at. I think that they're doing their best to turn things around. And yeah, the only thing I do, I would like to end with, and I don't know if you have any thoughts on that specific question you asked me, but you did send me something on IG, and that is a rumor that like I'm really excited for. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You
yeah.
remember what it was?
I do remember.
Okay.
It's so as you guys know, Dapper takes, what is it, 5% on every purchase
Every transaction,
and
bro. Yeah.
every transaction, yeah. And so, yeah, apparently there are plans in the future to somehow give that back to the community, the Top Shot community. Now, when this by the way, this came from Roham, and when he was asked, he just said yeah. So we don't know the details of it. We don't know when it's happening. We don't know how it's happening. We just know that it will happen. And so I guess that's something to look forward to, right? Because
Yo,
you
a,
know, shit.
Top Shot stimmies.
Yeah, word. That'll be fire.
I mean,
I
bro,
mean,
what else is it gonna be? Think about it. It's exactly what a stimulus check is, or even your tax refund, right? Like you pay taxes to the government every paycheck, and then at the end of the year, they're like, "Yo, here's some of it back."
you're like, oh, thanks, bro. Yeah, yeah. And then you gotta pay to do your taxes too, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I hope it's a stippy. I mean, I'll be nice, like you know what? Let me go buy some more IQ moments, like we did in that YouTube video.
Word.
But yeah, bro. I guess yeah, like you were saying, we can finish it off back on the playoff thing. I also didn't have like crazy expectations. I mean, I've always been kind of in the middle between you and Hayes, like where I just like to listen to what you both have to say, like very, very two different sides of like a spectrum. One was the opt. I mean, Well, yesterday we had a little conversation about this. He called himself called himself the realist, not the pessimist. So
That's
yeah,
right.
the realist versus the optimist. And yeah, bro. I mean, so far, you know, the moment like regular moments themselves haven't like spiked or anything like that, and that's fine. But I am thankful that like the Top Shot team has started introducing these new events and stuff like that. Like I think that's pretty cool. Like it's not just what was already in the market, but rather introducing new stuff that might be cool. So and not only that, the playoffs aren't even over yet, right? Second round is kind of boring right now, but especially now that our Knicks are gone. But yeah, bro, still something to look forward to. You never know. The denial phase will not be over until the playoffs are over, man.
Word.
Once it's over, then we can say that we were euphoric. But for now, we're to the moon, bro.
I'm with it. I mean, if there's anything to that statement, is the fact that I do check my market value from time to time, and yeah, bro, I think I'm pretty much at a floor, and I feel like most people are probably hitting some kind of floor where prices are
Yeah,
not going up or down. And honestly, bro, historically, that's when you want to buy because after
not financial
euphoria,
advice.
yeah, after euphoria, you get denial. After denial, you get panic, and after the people panic and the dust settles, those are the usually the best opportunities to capitalize. So I'm not saying we're at a floor. Don't go take this as financial advice.
Yeah,
But if
word.
you feel that it is a floor, like I feel like it's a floor, then these might be good buying opportunities if you think there's a future to this. Obviously, if you don't believe in the future of NFTs or Top Shot in general, then I don't know. Go get yourself some bored apes. So
Yeah, okay. That's what a way to yeah, me bro, you couldn't have ended better than that. And on that note, yo, again, bro, it's always a pleasure recording with you, man, and NFT City be
likewise,
out.
NFT City, peace.